Happy Saturday. I know I'm not usually on a Saturday, but I decided to come on because I wanted to share something with you guys. So hello to all of you who are going to catch this on the replay. And if you have don't know who I am Shantae Williams. I am ministry leader at Greater Working Women Ministries and also owner of Relentless Publishing House. So I had this conversation on Friday in a gathering with some people via Zoom as we were just talking about different things. And the question was, how do you get over frustration? How do you deal with frustration? And this is the wisdom that God has given me, and what I have learned and and still learning about dealing with frustration is number you have to identify the true source of your frustration. A lot of times we say we're frustrated because of lack of support, because of negativity, because of this and because of that. Somebody said something and it kind of made us feel some type of way. So now this frustration has a chokehold on us and we're stuck and we're not moving. But here's what I have learned. You have to identify the true source of your frustration. Is it the negativity from others, or do you really lack self-confidence? And that's the real conversation you have to have with yourself. A lot of times we try to blame it on outside factors. But if we were honest and we looked in the mirror, we would find out that we are our own source of frustration. Could it be the reason that I haven't moved on this and that is because I am unsure of myself? I'm not really comfortable in making that leap. I'm not really comfortable in stepping out in faith. I'm not really comfortable in the gifts in my life. I'm not really comfortable because maybe I tried before and it failed. So now I'm apprehensive in trying again. It's not that I failed, right? It's the lack of confidence to succeed. That is the true source of my frustration. So when I not only acknowledge what the true source is, but when I deal with it, it heals every other broken place in my life that is connected to that frustration. So I want us to be honest with ourselves. Is it truly an outside thing or is it an inside thing? 9 times out of 10, it's an inside thing. It's fear, right? It's not believing enough in you, right? It's not wanting, hey, I'm not sure who that is. It's not trusting yourself. Sometimes we have difficulty trusting ourselves to make the right decision, trusting ourselves to handle things the right way, trusting ourselves around this or around that. That's really the true source of the frustration. It's not the people, it's not what they said, it's not how they treated us. It's how we feel about ourselves as it relates to that thing that we're trying to overcome. And so, if we want to overcome the frustration in our life, we have to be honest about where the source is. Listen, this ain't no judgment thing. We've all got inner issues. We are all fighting an inner me. We all have these insecurities. Everybody's not just on 10 all the time. So this is definitely not a condemnation, but it's a let's look at what's real. You know, let's look at what's real in our lives. What's really causing me to be slack here? What's really causing me to procrastinate over here? What's really causing me to make excuses over there? What's the real reason? And if we look in the mirror, we will find the reason. So if you're trying to overcome frustration in any area of your life, I want you to look within and say, okay, where is the source coming from? Now, we do have some instances, right, depending on the situation, where the source may really be other people. We can't control other people, but we can control how we respond, how we react, how we handle. We can make the frustration a little more bearable. So let us look within and truly determine, is the frustration with me? And if it is with me, what do I need to do to overcome it? Right? That's what we have to do. That's what we have to look at. Is it me? Right? And then what are my steps to become less frustrated? There's always going to be some level of frustration in something that we're doing, something that we're trying to accomplish. But we have to give ourselves grace. Sometimes our expectations of ourselves is higher than what God expects. Sometimes we put unnecessary pressure on ourselves, and it frustrates us. It can keep us stagnant and stuck because your mind is saying, well, you know that ain't going to work, so you might as well not even try. You remember what happened last time. You don't want to go through that again. Your mind remembers, right? And it recollects stuff. But you got to have control over your thoughts and say, you know what? It may not have worked then, but I'm still going to try it again now because then was in the past and I live in the present. Sometimes you gotta encourage yourself and get yourself out of that mindset, right? You got to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who are going to help push you, who are going to challenge you, who are going to encourage you to say, yeah, that didn't work, but doesn't mean you can't try it again. Yeah, you really failed that, but guess what? You learned what not to do. Let's try it again. So sometimes we allow the inner me, the inner wars that we deal with in ourselves to frustrate us to the point where we are stuck and stagnant and we're making excuses and we're blaming everything and everybody else instead of looking at the person in the mirror. And we have to constantly remind ourselves, I'm not that person yesterday. Yesterday is past and gone. There's nothing I can do about it. I can learn from it and I can try again today. Today is a new day. Today is a fresh start. And we can go from there. So I want to challenge you to look within to see, is the source of your frustration coming from the inside of you? Because there are issues that you have with yourself that you have yet to conquer, that you have yet to overcome, that you have yet to acknowledge and address and fix, right? So a lot of times the frustration is not outward things, it's inward things. All right. And we take this journey one day at a time. All right. One day at a time is all it takes. That's it. One day at a time. Okay. So I really wanted to come on and share that with you guys on today. Was really on my heart because a lot of times we are frustrated with things. We get frustrated with people. We get frustrated with ourselves. We get frustrated with situations. We get frustrated with outcomes. We get frustrated with going through the process, right? Sometimes the frustration can be never ending. But let us ask, let us really seek out, what is the source of my frustration? And this is not a beat up on me session. This is being self aware and saying, you know what? I might be hindering me in this area. Let me do some things different, right? Or let me get help in this area so that I can conquer it. And then everything else is going to trickle down. All right? Because remember, you are the tree and then you got branches, right? And so if you have a branch that's connected to you that's dead, guess what? Sooner or later, it's going to trickle down and try to kill everything else that's attracted to it, attached to it. So you got to either prune it or cut it off. All right. And so we have to learn how to cut off that frustration to where it's not a cycle, a self-destructive cycle. Right. Stop holding yourself to a standard that God hasn't held you to. He does not require you to be perfect. He requires you to mature and to grow. All right. He knows you're not going to get it right all the time. He's not shocked. He's not offended. Okay. He's not. He already knew that, and yet he still assigned to you to do the things he assigned to do because he looked past it. And sometimes we cannot get past areas in our life where we just really messed up. And so that fear of going back to that season can frighten us, can keep us it can freeze us, it can arrest us to where we don't do anything because it's like, if I do nothing, then I can't go back there. But if you do nothing, you can't fulfill the purpose God has for your life. Right? That's in business, that's in life, that's on our jobs, that's in our families, that's in our churches, that's in every area. Every area is affected when we allow frustration to overcome and defeat us. Every area is affected. All right. So let's really get down to the nitty-gritty and say, you know what? Let me really understand, what is this true source so that I can deal with this and truly overcome it. Right. So I hope this little tidbit helped you guys. I know it helped me. I know that it helped me. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Overcoming frustration. It's not always easy. It gets difficult. It gets tiring. It gets hard. Um, you know, that's why it's important about the people you surround yourself with. You want people who can speak life into you. You want people who will not judge you. You want people who will help get your life together, that won't let you stay in that state, right? They'll let you have a moment and they're going to say, okay, now it's trying to get back up because you're not going to stay there on my watch. You need those type of people in your life that's going to help you get over that hump, right? Sometimes we cannot do it by ourselves. And we have to have community. We have to be open to allow community to help us. We have to be receptive. We have to be transparent. We have to be honest. So if you truly want to overcome the frustration in your life, I need you to look in the mirror and say, are you the source of my frustration? Is it really what they said? Or is what they said highlighted my lack of self-confidence? And I did not want that to be on display. Y'all, this stuff is real. Y'all know what I'm saying? You're welcome. This stuff is real. And so every day is a journey. Every day is something else for us to learn and to conquer and to grow from. All right. So again, this is not a self-condemnation. This is not I'm stopping me. Absolutely not. The devil is a lie. This is self-awareness. Me being self-aware so that I can so that I have the knowledge to know what tools I need to defeat this. And that's what it's all about. Okay. So do not be like, oh my gosh, no, that's not what we're doing. Okay. That is not what we're doing. We are being self aware and be like, okay, now that I know what to do. And if you have to seek outside help, don't be afraid. Ask God, He'll show you where to go. He'll send the people that can help you overcome and defeat and conquer so that you can be the best version of you, right? Hey, Haiti. And that's what it's all about. So do not stay in frustration and stay stuck and miserable and unproductive and depressed. And you're not living the abundant life that is already ours. All right. Don't stay there. You're supposed to have a life full of joy, peace, happiness, prosperity, love, all of those things. But you can enjoy those things to the fullest if you stay in frustration. All right. I know, because every now and then I have to tell myself, we're not going to stay here. Right. Acknowledge it, have your moment, and get over it. That's what I say to me. Okay. You have to do what's best for you. All right. But I want to make sure that you guys know how to overcome frustration. Identify the true source, deal with the source, and everything else will become healed. All right. Because remember, it's the truth that we know sets us free. Don't choose to stay bound because you don't want to address the truth in your life. We all have truths that we're not happy about. We all have truths we wish we can hide up under a rug or throw away the closet or burn up. You're not by yourself. Okay? You are not the only one. We all got issues. You do not have a monopoly on that. Let me help you. We all got issues. Okay? So let us do that together so that we can truly be the people that God has created us to be. All right. He doesn't want us to be frustrated. He wants us to be free, flowing, productive human beings, happy, joyful. Okay. All right, you guys. That's it. That's all I wanted to share. Is overcoming the frustration. All right, you guys. Have a great evening.